Howdy folks, I'm Observant Snowy Owl, owlishly observing outrageous orangutans.
I'm Amber.
And here are more outrageous orangutans for us to outrageously observe. You know, the thing is this, right? In my mind, I know that orangutans are not spelled or said as orangutans, but it's built into my brain. Like, I literally only think of them as orangutans, and like there's no another G in there, but apparently there is in my brain. So orangutans, I don't know. It sounds weird to me. Let's get started. Now you know another weird quirk about Brian. Now, the more you learn. Speaking of the more you learn, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Smashing Cake on My Dad's First Wife's Face? For some context, my dad had 3 wives, 5 kids. My mom was the second, and she had 2, even though my dad already had 2 sons her age. But oh well, I'm not really close with my family except one person who means everything to me, and that's my mother's other child that's only 4 years younger than me. My mom made a birthday party for my brother's 21st birthday, even though he said that he didn't want it because neither of us are actually fans of family gatherings, but she did it anyways and invited whoever she felt like. And as we always do, we wouldn't want to make her look bad with the condition of not singing happy birthday, so we would just cut the cake. So my mom and my dad's first wife, we'll call her Martha, are friends, and we treat her like our aunt since we were kids. And that's just what they told us, so that's what we do, I guess. Well, anyways, my brother was already in a bad mood that day, but was just kind of trying to be nice and honestly super respectful. But Martha was just nitpicking at everything that day. First, because we sat at the table at the restaurant and didn't tell them, her and her husband, they could sit down with us. Then because they didn't get to pick seats after being the last to sit down, because we were talking too fast between us and she couldn't listen to make her dumb comments. We were both tired of hearing her, and even my brother's girlfriend was uncomfortable, and I was just waiting for my boyfriend so that we could leave because the party would go on without him anyways. These parties are more for my mom than us. She would always invite these people that we don't even know and get mad if we invited people that we wanted. So when the time comes, the cake is finally brought out and Martha starts singing. So people that we don't even know also sing, and honestly, he didn't care that much. Martha then decides to get up and grab a slice of cake and tries to smash it on my brother, who's probably twice her size. My brother politely holds her hand and was being really respectful, asking her to please stop trying. To be honest, I was fuming. If it was me, I would be fuming anyways, but I let him handle it. Martha's husband decided to tickle my brother, and she finally got cake on him, on his face, and on his new clothes. On his fresh tattoo, he was mad. Knowing my brother, I thought that he was going to explode, but he just went to the bathroom to clean himself up, and his girlfriend went to talk to him. To be honest, I think that he was just tired. He didn't even want to be there in the first place, so when he comes back with his girlfriend, she starts making jokes saying that she always gets her way and that they took their time in the bathroom, etc. My boyfriend texted me saying that he was on his way, so I got up and I smashed cake on her face and with her glasses on, really rubbing it in, and I left with my brother and his girlfriend. The family is pretty mad, so am I, the jerk. Sorry for the long rant. Alright folks, what do you think?
I'm going to go with not the jerk. As a general rule of thumb, I do not agree with smashing cake into unconsenting people's faces. But the fact that she did it to the brother first set a precedent that it's okay. Like, if you do not want cake smashed in your face, don't smash cake in other people's faces.
Yeah, I mean, my view is that she set a precedent here, that a standard of behavior that was acceptable for her, and that OP was just replicating that behavior, right? And OP didn't even tickle her or anything like that. They just, smashed her face with some cake. And I mean, again, this is something that she said she was okay with, so I don't know why she would be so bothered by it. It seems like it's a bit of a double standard. Why are they not mad at her, at the aunt, for smashing cake, and why are they mad at OP for doing it?
Well, honestly, I just think OP and the brother probably need to go very low or no contact with a lot of these people.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't have his back at all, like, I can't imagine, being at a dinner with someone and having, the brother very clearly was like, no, please don't do this, and they just went ahead anyway and act like it's the funniest thing in the world, and no one tried to stop them.
Yeah. So, yeah, I normally would say that OP was in the wrong here, but this was not unprovoked, and it would kind of set the standard, so I don't actually have a problem with it. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for eating my roommate's self-made birthday cake the night before her birthday and then replacing it with a store one? And Amber wants to read this one.
Okay, so this is a burner account. I'm a 24-year-old female and I live with two roommates, Sarah, a 25-year-old female, and another one I'd rather keep private. We've been friends since college and usually get along well. Sarah loves baking and making these professional looking desserts. For her birthday last week, we had a small party and she spent hours making this beautiful 3-layer chocolate cake with homemade frosting and decorations. It looked amazing. The night before her birthday, I get a big craving for something sweet. I saw the cake in the fridge and thought one slice wouldn't hurt, but one turned into two, and before I knew it, I had eaten half. I didn't mean to, but I zoned out watching YouTube. I panicked, hid the rest in my room, and ran to the store to buy an already made chocolate cake. I tried to make it look homemade by changing the decorations, hoping Sarah wouldn't notice. She noticed immediately. As soon as she saw it, her face fell and she said something like, "This isn't my cake." I tried to play it off, but she pointed out the bad frosting and uneven layers. I finally admitted what I did and she was furious. She said I ruined her birthday and that it wasn't just about the cake, it was about the effort she put into it. I apologized and offered to buy a better one or bake her a new one, but she wasn't interested. Now she's barely speaking to me and our other roommate thinks I'm a huge jerk. I feel bad, but at the end of the day, it's just a cake. She's acting like I committed a crime, so...
Almost like theft.
So am I the jerk?
All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely the jerk. This cake was not made for you. First of all, I feel like it's common etiquette that you do not take the first slice of cake unless you're the birthday person.
Yeah.
You know, so even taking one slice would have been wrong. But then the whole, I'm going to take the rest of it and hide it under my bed and, none of this was good any step of the way. OP, you're a major jerk.
Yeah, I kind of even doubt OP's, telling of this. I don't even know if they're an accurate narrator of what they've done here.
Yeah.
So either one, this is the roommate and they're kind of, sharing it from their perspective about what happened, the one who made the cake. Or two, OP really had no intention of giving that cake back and was just kind of trying to justify themselves in some degree, because this just does not feel like somebody who is actually apologetic.
No, I mean, OP is a very deeply entitled person. If she thinks she can just take someone's birthday cake that they've handmade and not that it would be okay if it was store-bought either, because the roommate would get the cake that she wanted to have. Yeah. But this is also something that is very hard to replicate. You can't make it in the exact same way the roommate did. And so the roommate had made this very special cake for her birthday that was exactly what she wanted, and OP had no problem stealing the cake and then trying to replace it with a poor substitute.
Yeah, it's such a obvious, they're the jerk situation here that I just don't even know how you can be have no self-reflection to know that you're not the jerk here.
There are some people who are just so entitled. Yeah. It could also be, like you said, from the roommate's perspective, but there are some people who just feel like they are owed the world.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for buying my sister's boyfriend lunch? Hello all, I'm a 26-year-old female here, and while I was on my way home from the gym, I received a call from my sister, an 18-year-old female's boyfriend, a 19-year-old male. Not abnormal, as he's usually over at our house. He was asking me if our alarm was on because he got into the house before my sister and wanted to double check if he could go in since she wasn't picking up her phone. I told him no and happened to be stopping at McDonald's on my way home and asked if he wanted anything. He told me some chicken nuggets, so I picked those up for him as well as for my sister. Well, today my sister texted me saying, if you want my boyfriend, just say that. 100% I thought this was a joke, so I replied, not my type, shrugging face. Well, I very quickly learned that it wasn't a joke, that she replied with a paragraph telling me how buying him dinner was essentially coming on to him. So now I know that she's not joking, and at first I tried playing nice and just tried to reassure her that I have zero attraction to her boyfriend, but that was answered with more rude comments from her. Now, the last message I sent to her was, sister's name, you really need to grow up. I simply bought you both McDonald's on my way home. A simple thank you would suffice. Am I the jerk here, or is this completely normal? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I think OP's sister needs to work on her jealousy issues. I could understand the sister being a little frustrated if Opie had only bought the boyfriend food.
Yeah.
But she bought food for everyone. And I feel like that's kind of a nice courtesy when you have a guest over anyway. Like, regardless of the guest's gender, you just kind of like make sure everyone has some food.
No, no. Anytime you buy someone food from McDonald's on your way home, especially McDonald's, it immediately means that you're interested in them. And so OP buying their sister dinner, not a good sign. Poor etiquette. I mean, the signals that she's giving here, just gross and creepy. Who would do this? We all know this is established law that buying people McDonald's means that you're totally into them.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
I do, because I'm the sister.
Oh, that's a surprise turn of events.
On a serious note, I think that OP did a nice thing here.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that OP's sister is treating this like she's hitting on him, even if, like you said, she had just bought the boyfriend lunch, as long as this isn't like a pattern of behavior, then I would say that the sister is probably in the clear, right? It's not like OP was buying the guy food and being like, now that I bought you food, what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, or bringing him on a romantic date. Oh,
Yeah, to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been different if she'd like, why don't you come on to a romantic dinner with me? We got some wine and everything like that.
And so, I mean, everyone has different standards for like what their ideal restaurant is, but I feel like buying someone a little bit of fast food is not, when you're buying everyone in the household fast food, like that's just, again, good, being a good host. It does not mean you're hitting on them.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. I thought we were saying the same thing on our minds, but apparently we weren't not on the same wavelength.
page.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for telling my husband not to make extra food for our kids anymore? I'm a 40-year-old female, and my husband, a 40-year-old male, have 3 kids together, a 9-year-old female, an 8-year-old male, and a 6-year-old female. Whenever I cook, the kids may or may not like it. If they don't like it, that's fine. They can go eat some fruit or something because I'm done. If they don't want fruit or something, then they're not hungry. When my husband cooks, if any of them don't like it, usually the youngest one, in both my case and his case, he'll make a whole other quick meal for her. And that's fine for him. But it becomes an issue for me when I refuse to make something else besides what I cook, and then they say, but Dad does. And then my husband comes in and will cook the complaining person something. I asked him yesterday if he could stop that, because I don't want them thinking because they can ask him if I say no. He said it's food, and it kind of brushed me off and started an argument, and we kind of decided that we would just postpone it until today. Am I the jerk for wanting him to do this? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, OP, I think you're being the jerk here. Your children need nourishment. Like a 6-year-old, I understand it's frustrating when you have a meal planned out and not everyone likes it. But it seems like you're consistently making foods the 6-year-old doesn't like and expecting her to go hungry if she can't find something she likes. It is good to encourage children to try foods outside their comfort zone, but some kids have, especially young kids, have really finicky palates, and it's more important that they're able to get the nutrients they need than that they have the exact same meal as everyone else.
Yeah. So I actually do want to read this comment here real quick. I know we don't usually for Amber, but I think this adds a little bit more context here. And Steam Scout says, info, what kind of foods each are you preparing? If it's something a child can reasonably expect it to eat, meatloaf, spaghetti, baked chicken, then I'm on your side and wouldn't make a separate meal for a kid. If you're making oysters, really spicy food, or anything with blue cheese, then it's completely reasonable to make the kids something else. I'm not the kind of person that thinks kids only need to eat chicken nuggets, fish sticks, and bok mac and cheese, but I know that most kids would rather starve than eat gazapo, or haggis. And OP replies, I mostly make spaghetti, rice, fried coconut, and jollof with chicken, fried, baked / jerked. And I also make fried yams or plantains for dinner, stuff like that. I usually only have one night a week of making something a bit more out of the normal palate. So, with that information, I mean, certainly like some of those foods can be a little bit strong for children. And I think that might be part of the reason why they might, want to get something else from their father. And I think more than anything, they both need to work on communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that her request is super unreasonable because she doesn't want to have to make a second meal. But then again, like, even if she refuses, her husband goes ahead and does it anyways.
That's the thing,
right?
is she's telling him that he can't make a meal for them. So it's not adding an extra burden if he steps in to make the food.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what her point is here. If the goal is for the kids to have a healthy, balanced meal, them going to bed hungry is not going to help that. And so I think she needs to look at, is she just trying to be punitive? Is she just upset because they're not eating her what she asked them to?
Yeah.
And again, if her husband is the one doing the extra cooking, how is that hurting her?
That's the problem I have here, is it feels like she should just be redirecting them when they ask and say, well, go ask your dad, right? And because he seems more than willing to go ahead and do this, and she can go ahead and, place the burden on him as opposed to, taking that burden on herself. And it seems like he's more than happy to do that. I'm wondering if she just feels like it makes her look bad.
I think that's probably what it is that the kids are seeing dad does this, so why doesn't mom do this for us?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mean, I do think they need to have a conversation around this and come to some agreements. But I think OP really needs to look at what her motives are, and why she thinks it's okay to send a 6-year-old to bed hungry.
Yeah, it's really not good to send a 6-year-old to bed hungry. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber, she has a joke.
Where do kittens go to see the latest flicks?
Oh, I guess they would go to the movies.
Indeed, they do. And it's Popcorn Lovers Day.
Oh, it's Popcorn Lovers Day. So I hope you had a beverage of choice today and then also some popcorn to go with it. Unless you don't like popcorn, because like those little tiny hard pieces of plasticky substance get stuck between your teeth, and then you have to sit there picking at it for the next 5 hours because you're in bed staring at the blackness above you, wondering, can I get this, or do I actually have to go and find a piece of dental floss? But you're already settled into bed and you don't want to get up to get a piece of dental floss, and so you sit there wedging that stupid little piece of popcorn out between the little tiny molar in the back of your gum, wondering, will I get it before I fall asleep, or will it drive me mad before the morning comes? And then eventually you fall asleep, not even getting it, so the next morning you wake up and it's still there. It's exhausting.
Brian speaks from personal experience. As you can probably guess, there is one popcorn eater in our household.
And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday, Junior, folks.
Happy Friday, Junior.
Thanks so much to Amber for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on eating popcorn. No, I'm just kidding. Have it on food related.
Don't cut into other people's birthday cakes, and also don't smash birthday cakes into other people's faces unless they start it first.
Yes. And don't cook your children. and don't complain too much when your husband does extra stuff for your kids. I don't know.
I think that works.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Whenever I cook the kids, they don't like it. Whenever I cook up the kids, they're not such happy fans of being cooked up. You're a bad parent. Witch from Hansel and Gretel.